In today's video, you will see a transformation of feet and nails on a client who is legally blind. We have a great conversation about many topics. You will definitely be entertained, but you will not believe that they are the same feet when we are finished. So stay tuned.
If you're new here, welcome. Please subscribe and turn on your notifications in case you are chosen as the winner in the random comment game.
When I have a client who is interested in making an appointment with me for a pedicure service, my receptionist asks a lot of questions on the telephone to determine if I am able to provide the service for the client. One being, do you have dry peeling skin on the bottoms of your feet or in between your toes? So the answer for this client was yes. So she has been using the nail mycosis solution and the athlete's feet solution. So I could ensure that I would be able to work on her feet when she got to the salon.
As they got longer and longer, maybe you hit something, or maybe they're just brittle because they're so dry.
Right.
You know, when I stop shaking it, like even now my feet are much more flexible. I can move them. You know, I had to scrub on them and stuff like that, trying to get the skin. But I can just move. There's more flexibility in the foot.
And she didn't think that it could be caused from anything else?
No. You can tell the difference. When I stop taking the diuretic, immediately, like after this, after I have this pedicure, not the flesh, it's the skin, just it gets so dry and it gets so tight.
Right.
It'll even look like shiny and hard.
Oh,
you know,
gosh.
Like try to exfoliate it, you know. It'll be really soft, but it just gets dry real quickly, and it'll be shiny because you've taken off all that excess skin, but it's drying out that quickly.
Wow.
Sometimes I think the doctors don't know what to do with things, and I'm not sure that anybody has articulated. I feel sure that somebody in the world has said this. I'm not that bright. Okay, but a lot of times we don't know. Look how many years I went thinking,
right,
wow, why did I start getting all this dry skin on my feet? You know, I didn't associate it with the medication. I just knew I went from not having that to all of a sudden I've seen a lot of people have issues, you know, with dry skin on their feet.
Yeah.
I just happened not to be one of them. My mom didn't have it. And my father used to even tell my mother, you must go in there and promise the hell out of you. Because she never had dry skin on her feet. And he did.
Oh.
You know, he did. He had the little flaky skin all over his feet.
How is everyone doing today? You are in store for a lot of excess cleaning around these nails and cuticles, but I would love to hear where you are all watching from today. So tell me in the comments.
Sure, you clean your feet. You know, I grew up, we had a pumice stone. You know, we did that sort of thing all the time, every time you bathe. But when you're taking a shower, it's almost like in and out. You wash,
right,
and you're getting out, and I guess
your feet don't have time to soak.
Exactly. And then a lot of the lotions that we use aren't really great lotions, you know, unless you really take time to find a lotion that's really going to be good for you. And then I remember when doctors used to tell you,
I've had some comments lately saying that they've been having a problem finding where the nail mycosis solution and athlete's feet solution is located on my website. If you go to the pedicure supplies and then click Imperial Feet, all of the products are located in that category.
Medicine is a practice. It is not. They are practicing. They're practitioners, and they go and they get
The bit that
educated,
I'm
they
using
figure
here
out
is the
whatever's going
Diamond
on.
Mini Cuticle bit. It's a little bit
So
bigger
many
than
things that
my
I have
mini
seen
cone bit, and I
in my
choose to use
lifetime,
this
and I
when
don't
there
consider
is a
myself
little bit
bad,
more excess
you know,
skin
but I have
attached
seen
to
it
the nail
expressed
plate
in
so
so
I
many
can get that cuticle area and get the
it's
skin
been
that's on the
practically
surface of the
20
nail
years,
plate
or
at the
5 years,
same time,
instead of
just
become
to try and save a little bit
sure
of
about it
time during the
anymore.
service.
Right.
But
And
I
then
do have to go back
because
and end
a
up
doctor
using
might come
my
on and
mini
say,
cone
no,
bit as well.
you know,
Right.
you don't
We've
do
proven
that.
that
Yeah.
doesn't work. Yeah.
My mom was a person who had ulcers. She would get stomach ulcers, okay? And my mother drank that all the time. I thought it was part of her diet.
Yeah.
But when, say, like if there was a flare-up, the way they told you to treat it at that time,
Right.
virus,
Bacteria.
whatever, and the very things that they were telling them to eat would be actually aggravating to the digestive system. You know,
Oh,
you
wow.
have a problem. So that's probably why you had a hard time. One reason you had a hard time getting rid of it, because or you suffered with pain, because you were constantly doing something that made it worse. So they started telling people, no, later, you know,
Oh my goodness.
what to do. Yeah.
That's
People saw it as a
I
good
know
thing.
many of you out there watch my videos to see the big transformations. There are a lot of people out there who need help with their feet, but haven't found anyone to help them. One way that you can help them is to help them find my channel by clicking the share arrow under the video and sharing the video to any other social media sites that you have, so maybe someone who needs help will see the video and be able to get the education they need to help themselves.
I was in the hospital. That should you have thought? He looked at me and said, no. He said, very few people are salt sensitive.
oh.
And that you can have a diet with salt in it, you know. You shouldn't go overboard. Like, maybe you wouldn't be the person that should eat maybe Chinese food, you know, any cuisine that has a lot of
too much.
like soy sauce, because it's so high
Right.
in sodium. You wouldn't want
Anything
it
in
to go
moderation.
there. Exactly. But not to the point where your food is tasteless, you know, it doesn't have any flavor in it.
Right.
Now they want you to have good fats. You know.
Yeah, they're looking better.
I have to admit, at the beginning of the service, I said to myself, oof, I am nervous about the outcome of this service, but you will be pleasantly surprised.
I'm gonna have to work out something. I really don't think I'm going back to taking that diuretic anymore. But I did make a discovery. Anyway, I've been working on my eating, and I don't know if you've heard about intermittent fasting and all that sort of thing. I went on a fasting protocol, and my legs just went down. You know, it wasn't even an issue because I didn't take any medication while I was fasting. And it was like, oh, wow, my ankles are normal.
Oh, wow.
So I sort of think that...
Did you just eat the same things every single day?
No, I actually fasted. I did a pure fast. I was supposed to be drinking water, and I found that after a few days, it just became very, very difficult for me to drink the water. It's like the taste changed, and I'm a water drinker. That's my go-to beverage. I don't drink coffee. Rarely do I drink tea. More like if I were having tea, with the iced tea in the summer or something like that. There aren't too many. I'm not into, you know, some of that water is still here. You know, 2 gallons. I just couldn't drink it.
You
And so
probably
that's my
haven't gotten to the
experience. Some of
favorite
that,
part of
like,
your video yet, but maybe you
so I
have.
set myself
Let
up.
me know what
I didn't
part
want
of my
everybody
videos
around me
you
eating,
like the
you know, and
best.
that's an advantage I
Tell
had
me in the
that
comments.
other folks in the house are at work. The hardest thing for me would have been my granddaughter. I have to go in and cook food for her. And when we cook, sometimes we need to taste things in order to know if we got it adjusted properly. So my daughter-in-law would have me cook something for her twice a week. And I realized, I'm not going to taste this food. But like, well, you're on your own. Hopefully I hit it at the right spot and you adjust it. But
you guys can add your own spices if it doesn't taste just perfect.
Right. And I did it in college. And that was the last time that I had really, tried.
Are you married?
No, not anymore. I'm widowed. No, because that would make, to me, that makes it more difficult.
It is very difficult.
But guess what? People do it. That have families. They do it.
Yeah, Bruce is like a food pusher. He's like,
oh yeah,
where do you want to eat dinner?
Yeah.
We're going out. I'm like, I don't want to go out. I just want to stay at home. Nope, we're going out. It's like, I can't go sit in a restaurant.
That's my son. You should see. They went out to the Palace Monday for the game. Christmas game. When they came back, they were in a sleep. When they came back, there were boxes sitting in the refrigerator. And look, they were the most beautiful little, I guess they were burgers, and I don't know if they call them sliders, but they were a little bit big to me for a slider.
Right.
But they were the most beautiful
Okay,
burgers.
you can put that foot back in the water.
In there. And
you can really see the excess skin that needs to come off of this foot. The second foot, when it comes out of the water, it's been soaking for a good 15 minutes, so you can really see all of that.
It's not bad. You don't have a weight issue, so that's not bad.
I just gained 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the Christmas candy?
I don't know. It's just been like the past year or so.
Oh,
It's just been creeping on because I've been eating so bad. I eat fast food and.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you this, because there is such thing called skinny fat, and it's sort of like when you don't show it on the outside. But, no, really, it's serious, because it can get around your organs. And I don't know if you've ever paid attention. She says, oh, JC has the sugars. And I remember I asked her, what is that from? Or something. She couldn't give me like a detailed explanation like you would now. But she explained that it was harmful to her, it was hurting. Now, that's out of our entire family. Only one person. That could be that they didn't know as much, but I kind of think people didn't tend to have it because people ate 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day,
More fruits and vegetables, less processed.
Better diet, But now, my mother-in-law is a slender woman. She's in her 90s now. She's been a slender woman all her life that I've known her. In fact, she's like 5'9", and she wore like a size 2 and a size 4. Okay? So
Now, a
really
pedicure service can be a little intimidating if a client has a lot of excess peeling skin on or around their toes, because when they come out of the water, especially after soaking for a period of time, the skin is going to appear white like this. Don't panic. It's just excess skin that needs to be exfoliated off the surface.
And she's very conscientiously even now. So, it's like a very controlled situation. But I was wondering, because I've never seen her overweight, and I usually associated it with something like that. But she loves sweets. And if her husband, Buzz, he kept candy around. He loves chocolate. So he keeps candy around. And she was saying how she would sneak in his drawer and get some of his candy and eat it like that. And then because she does like sweets, she's a snacker, she's nibbling on whatever.
Yeah.
She's the lady that comes to church and they open the bag with the candy.
Oh, yeah.
And pull around like that. So, but it's just so many people. It's like every way I turn, people are saying that they're diabetic. And not just the individual. That's, it's the food industry. It is the fast food. It is probably the access to food, because one doctor talked about We don't just eat 3 meals a day. That I may have pulled out. You know, it was like the skin was stuck really hard in there. And it was really, when I say hard, it was like nail hard.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't want to be a diabetic because I figure the same thing you have to do once you become a diabetic is what might keep you from being truly diabetic. And if you're not diabetic, that does mean you can enjoy to splurge every now and then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without everything being kind of, no, I shouldn't, like that. You know, not feeling guilty about it or whatever.
Right.
So, I'm leaving to go on a trip and I want to enjoy my trip. I want to eat or drink whatever I like. But when I come back, I'm going to
Be good.
say whatever I don't have off by the summer, this summer's a good time to, you know, work on that.
Right.
Properly.
Right.
That's a different story. But you didn't even hear about that a lot. You see the toe you're working at right now?
Mm-hmm.
Underneath it, you know, I have to feel everything. I can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like thick. Is that something you get out, like underneath the nail?
It'll grow out.
It will?
Yeah, because you're still using the nail mycosis solution, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it just grows out and the thickness part goes away?
Yeah.
Right. I noticed where it's grown out, it feels thicker too. You know, just the nail it's like it's a different level.
Different height. Yeah, all of the new nail is growing in at the normal thickness.
That's good. I even noticed my lips were chapped. And I was wondering why my lips are, you know how you say, oh, it's wintertime maybe?
Yeah.
But they just got so chapped that they were uncomfortable. I was constantly using Carmex and stuff. And it's like I said, close to you, like, oh, shoot, well, it didn't just happen on one part of the body. It's on your own skin. Everything is dry. That's the cuticles on my fingers are ridiculous and my hands are so dry. That one normalizing a little good.
Yep.
Because I noticed it's like, you know how it used to come off sort of like close to the center? It's like two different nails. Well, I noticed it was wider and that it's just like maybe just a little bit on the side that you could feel a little difference in the nail.
Yep. You know? Different nail heights.
Good.
Oh my goodness. Call me crazy, but you have no idea how much joy it brings me to put a nice, clean, smooth surface on nails like this. It is so rewarding to create pretty, soft, feminine nails again.
tickle?
No, I'm trying to figure out what to do here. I want to make it start. There's a movie out. I'm not sure, but I think it was Car Wash. I think that was I don't know, it may have been Car Wash. But it was a movie where the actress, and we see her in the commercials all the time. I can't think of her name right now. She's a very popular actress. She does the juice commercial about, or it's the orange juice where it's only so many calories in it, 90 calories or something like that. And she'll have the trainer, and she'll sit on the trainer's back, and they can give, like he'll come in and say, give me 10 or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
Have you seen it before?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, this actress, if you ever see the commercial, you'll know what I'm talking about. She's in the movie, and it's like they're gonna turn her into a very beautiful made-up woman. She's got some issues in the movie. It's like she's overweight, and her feet are in really bad shape. Like her nails.
Oh, really?
It's just horrible. And they go through and they end up taking her to an auto body shop. It may not have been car wash. And you know how they use the sanders and the buffers and all that kind of stuff. They do all that crazy stuff to her, and of course when they finish, she stand up and she's beautiful. She throws her hair back and she's walking. But it's the stuff that they put her through, because it's like they look at her feet and it's like, oh no.
Oh, wow.
They take her and they use the machines on her. That's what I think about every time I hear the little, the pedicure thing.
Yeah.
The pumice thing going. It's like, boom, 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 the jack. They had everything going.
The jackhammer.
It was so funny. I felt sorry for his son, though.
Yeah.
Did you see his son sent?
No, I didn't see any of it. I just heard about it through the grapevine because I don't get to watch television.
Okay. Business people don't. Lori get very seldom gets to watch TV.
Yeah, late at night I'll watch a television show like on demand, but I don't ever watch.
When it's happening.
No, and I'm never on the computer reading the news. I'm always.
I believe they have more courage to do it now, though, because they've gotten so used to being able to do it online and get away with it. That they know there's a community of people who do and say and feel the same things. So I think people have become bolder.
Well, I know a lot of I would say 99% of the mean comments that I get on my channel are all anonymous.
Sure, no,
yeah.
Stand up and show their face.
And I just think that that's horrible. Because if you have something to say, then you should have enough backbone to let people know who you are.
But if you're legitimate.
That's right. Because I have never had a anonymous screen name. If I have an opinion and I would like to share it or talk to somebody or make a point about something, I use my name.
I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
But something was pointed out to me. I was had the doctor's program on TV this morning, and I guess when I entered, they were talking about reviews. You know, online reviews and things like that. So it must have been that they were telling people that, like, if you're looking for certain services, whatever, how you go and look at the reviews. Then they started talking about, there was a doctor that is suing the people that, I guess his review was like a 2-point something. And he went to the courts to sue for the names because of the anonymous thing. He sued to get the names of people who were making the reviews.
To prove that they weren't legitimate customers?
Yeah, well, he's suing them for giving him the reviews. I guess maybe his thing is they're not legitimate complaints. Okay?
Yeah.
And they brought that up about the fact that sometimes they are your rivals.
That's right.
You don't know who's giving those reviews. And that some doctors who have real high reviews are actually giving people incentives to give high reviews. That you get a discount on services if you give me a really good review, that if you know, whatever.
Right.
And so they are the best thing to count on and look at, you know, because you don't know where it's really coming from.
Yeah. I just put 2 and 2 together and figured out where some of them were coming from because I found the exact same information.
Of more than one.
Yes, on somebody sent me an article and I was like, oh, okay, I got you. And I'm like, I thought we were colleagues, but evidently somebody's holding a little bit of a competition. You know, and it's like, I'm not in competition with you. So you
There's
do your
enough room for
thing.
you to do you. And for
You,
someone else
yeah,
to do.
that's
and
right.
if you're good at what you do, you're going to draw people to
Yeah.
you.
Why are you paying attention to what I'm doing anyway?
Oh, okay. Okay, what's going on? You have to call Laura. She's with Laura. Yeah, I sure did. Okay, just call her on her number. They're together.
Okay, just put that back in the water.
I'm looking so forward to going away. I'm tired.
To see me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, I only see what I think might be one cluster of pins. Is it in
Oh,
there?
yeah. There's
Hey,
Toronto.
don't worry about it. I didn't even know it was color over there.
Oh, yeah.
That's my vision. But that's neat. That's really nice to be able. I should tell Ma about that because she just got back from. She just got back from Georgia Monday. That's why it really worked out when you guys called.
Oh,
changed
yeah.
the appointment.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, you know, you changed it like 2 days because we've really been hard on her. In fact, I don't know about the timing. She may not have gotten back in time Monday, you know. And then I think 2 weeks before that, she was in Texas. She's supposed to go out to Vegas. I think that's in June. So, but that's a neat idea, you know, to keep it like that. I think the YouTube is a good idea for business. You know, the way, because that's how I just happen to, you know, be looking through it. You know how to start skipping from one thing to the other thing to the other thing? And I was like, oh, what is that? And then when they say leave, I actually, it's like, I know, you know, heard of it, I know. Some was just doing that. But I didn't know exactly where it was.
Yeah.
Know? But I said, this is what I want for Christmas. That is what I want to do.
Aww.
Remember, it took a long time for her feet to get into this condition, and it's going to take more than one pedicure service to make them look perfect. She is using the products at home. I know that I'd love just to scrub all of this skin off quickly, but you have to be gentle on the skin because you don't want to cause any damage to the surface or make the skin sore or red around the toenails. So I do go slow and gentle, but in the end you will see that her toes look amazing, and she'll continue to use the nail mycosis solution and the athlete's feet solution to help the condition of her skin on her feet.
She was younger.
No, she said she never did.
No?
No. She said those, so I can imagine her parents probably were really freaked out at some point in time.
Absolutely.
But no, it was amazing to see. And I said, I wonder what's different about her, because I don't think a lot of us would be able to do well. And it certainly didn't appear that, like, when she sat down to eat, like she had a mound of food. It wasn't like that. It was just that those are the things out of her diet. That's the three things she ate. Eat French fries and go away.
I eat French fries. I gained 3 pounds.
Yeah. But I do like them. I don't eat them often. I really, a lot of things I just don't eat often. But I do like French fries. And you always feel guilty when you eat them because you know they're
Did you drive yourself today?
No.
Yeah. Somebody dropped you off?
No, my daughter is out there.
Oh, she's in the...
baby is out there. Say, if I drive, you better look out. Remember, I'm blind.
Oh, yeah.
You do not want to see me driving unless I'm in a parking lot. There are no cars there.
Yeah.
It's very difficult. You know, you really want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You've been used to doing it.
Yeah.
So much of your independence is kind of gone. You know, you can't do it anymore. So I know exactly the last time I drove. It was at Laura's wedding. And I drove in the parking lot when everybody was kind of there. But they opened the door for me. And I went around to the other side. And I sat there under the wheel for the longest. When all the cars had settled down, I thought, oh, I'm going to celebrate. And I just drove around in the parking lot.
Oh, funny.
And it was, this guy says, he says, there are no more parks. You might as well park, you know, because I don't care how many times you go around, the park's not going around. I just looked at him and I laughed.
You're like,
I was just driving around.
driving, buddy.
And then I pulled into a park. I was just able to pull straight into it, you know. And that would be the last day I drove. But I said, I'll never forget it because that's the day my baby got married. And if I ever get rich and I have some land, then I'm going to make a course out there just so I can get on the wheel and drive the course. And I'll put my own little store in my own little stuff, you know, so I can drive.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Make a go-kart course.
Yeah, I thought, you know, on some of the ships they have the go karts, and when I saw that, I said, if we got one, that's me. That's where they're gonna fly me out there, because it's okay to bump people. Not intentionally bump them, but if you do, it's not gonna be out of place.
And I think there's a speed governor on them, so you can't go over a certain mile an hour.
Yeah. I always like go-karts anyway. I'm not the go-karts, Dodge 'em cars. That's what I'm trying to say. Not go-karts. So like if your clothes are wrinkled up, you're supposed to be able to kind of just take them, hang them out, and
like mist your shirt or whatever.
And then they tell you to what I call a hand press.
Oh, okay.
You know how like when you get your clothes out the dryer, sometimes if you take them and make sure you smooth them out, you fold them or whatever, they won't be wrinkled. You do that and just hang them up, and it's supposed to take the wrinkles away. I've been looking for somebody who's used it to see if it really works, you know.
I'll just throw my shirt in the dryer for the de-wrinkle cycle while I'm getting ready or something in the morning.
This
so I
is,
don't have to
this is for when you're traveling.
Oh,
you
when
know,
you're
like your stuff's packed in the suitcase.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, one of the things I thought about is just taking a little bit of Downy, a little bit, and putting water, mixing the Downy with the water and spritzing it myself. Because I don't know if there's anything special in there, or if they just, thought about a different way to use it. They're not going to tell you because they want to sell the product, you know. But I've been fortunate, like the way I do my laundry. When I was a kid, I was the appointed ironer. Okay?
Oh.
And I didn't like it so much because our ironing board was in the wall, you know, and so I don't care how hot it got. Okay? But I really find I don't mind ironing. We got the time or whatever. I'll sit and I'll put the TV on and I iron. But I don't have to do very much ironing at all. Yeah. It's nothing like it used to be, because when I wash my clothes, if you don't crowd them in the dryer, okay, and you don't let them dry like kind of over dry, you know, when you touch them, they're zapping the moisture out of your own skin.
Right.
You get them just to dry, and I take them and I fold them right away. And I like the little undershirts, I smooth them, and there's no issue there.
Yeah. And that one will be there. Let's put that one up here. And you can see too, because sometimes people are like, oh, you know, I don't know, have they changed that much?
But
And then you say, well, let me show you the before and after photo.
And I like that, because see, I can actually see it on a picture, because you know how you can kind of make the picture bigger?
Yeah.
I can really see that. You know, that's something I never thought about. I could have seen them better if I took pictures at home, too. You know, because it's a little bit like I had to ask somebody to come in. I was trying to weigh my luggage. You know how you only can have a certain amount? And I put the suitcase on.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to visit my channel. People like you are the reason for my success, and I appreciate it so much. But remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for all the latest videos. Remember, it is free, and I'll see you next time.